Good evening, everybody. Welcome to REM Friday night game night here in June. Tonight we've got a special presentation for you. We'll be doing a demo play version of a RPG titled The Bloody-Handed Name of Bronze. With us tonight we have Joshua A.C. Newman, one of the authors of the game. We have Opti, friend, bearded warrior, name dealer, Ava of the Clean Palette, and Chris, the Faded Hero. I myself will not be partaking tonight. I'll be watching in the background, and I'm just going to let the four of them take it away.
All right, everybody. Let's so we've already chosen your name. Why don't you do a little bit of an introduction for the name dealers? What I'll need from you is your name, the thing that you are fleeing, the person you are fleeing, and the named one that now aids you. So what that means is that there's somebody who at least believes that you owe them, and they're after you. Oh no.
Cut out in the middle of your sentence again.
Perfect. So you will have something that's helping you, and then you're going to, per the character sheet, you're going to write down the which of those things apply. And we can all talk them out. We need to all hear them anyway, because I'm not quite a GM. I'm the spare player, which means that I don't have a companion. But anybody who's in the center of the action is going to be portraying their character. Anybody who's out of the center of the action is just as much a GM as I am. And that's the reason we need to share everything, because we are going to try to get each other all on our same creative pages. The Faded Hero, portrayed by Chris. You have an ancestor who is a great name. That is the sky, that's a mountain, that is a lion-headed god who lives in the forest. And they have an oracle, and the oracle is telling you what that what that great name wants you to go do. And they're jealous and petty, and we don't know what you're like, but we know that they're going to be jealous and petty at you at some point, even though they're the source of your power. So if somebody has an idea, if somebody has a name for themselves, an idea of who they're running from or who their ancestor is, let's share them.
Let's see. And we just make stuff up. That's what we're doing. Like there's no existing lore that we need to draw from.
The important things are that there is no such thing as an empire. There's no standard currency. There is wilderness. There are farms, and there are a couple of cities. So aside from that, yeah, we're going to make it up. Every time we need a name, we're going to ask the bot for a name that'll fill it in for us.
All right. Then I am Adab, the name dealer, and I am fleeing from a... can we get a name? I'm fleeing from... Yep. Who am I fleeing from?
From the of names. And you are welcome to ask everybody else for help. Engubhab.
I'm fleeing from Engubhab, who is a warlord who has a breastplate made of teeth, and he is angry with me because I was his prophet, and I told him not to go to war because the thing that I have said not to, and he did not want that answer because it was the time to go to war for him, and he wanted a better answer. So he blames me for the loss, and I'm on the run.
And what is the thing that you stole from him, or that that you have with you that told him that it was a bad time?
This was let's see. I have a a a dead snake in a cage.
Oh, neat. Doc Bob.
Does that have a name as well?
Yeah, Doc Bob.
Doc
DAKBAB.
Doc Bob.
Okay, so you have promised the snake something. There's something that it wants, and it has promised to do something for you. So you can tell it what it promises to do for you, and one of us can tell you what you have promised to do for it.
Let's see. What do I want it? I say what I want it to do for me.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
I mean, it seems like it reads the stars or something. Like it can tell the future.
Yeah. I want it to I'm drawing a blank. Let's see. I want it to reveal to me the next king I will serve, or the next leader I should be serving.
Great. Yeah. So I think it might. Oh, yeah. Great. So there's something that it. Okay, great. And then the other three of us can think about what you've promised. What Adab has promised to the snake. Snake Duck Bob. I feel like. Yeah.
So you promised to get Doc Bob. So this is what the promise you're fulfilling to Doc Bob, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Something the snake wants. It's dead.
You
So
promised to get Doc Bob a place where it could sunbathe. A place where it could sunbathe in peace at any time.
Can I propose that like this isn't just like a dried up snake, but like it's a mummy. It's got a little sarcophagus.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Great.
I like that.
So it has some characteristics.
Doc Bob does? The snake?
Yes, Doc Bob has some characteristics which are to determine which of these are true. Is Doc Bob old?
Yes.
Okay. Is Doc Bob beautiful?
I would say no.
Okay. Is Doc Bob big?
For a snake?
Yeah, it doesnn't sound like it.
No,
it's not like an anaconda. It's like a
right.
regular snake.
Maybe a cobra. So it looks.
Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, right. Well, does that make it beautiful instead?
In its mummified state, I don't know. These are. We'll say sure. Maybe it's got like some rune, maybe it's got some jewels where it's sort of like
that's what I'm imagining. Okay. Is it known to all? Doesn't sound like it. This sounds like you have a personal relationship with. Is it mighty?
I don't.
Doesn't seem like a mighty kind of thing. Yeah. And is it inscribed? It is, because it has writing on it. Which is inherently holy. Okay, so that it is old, beautiful, mighty, and inscribed. So that is 4 immortal dice of gold that it will give you.
Did we say it was mighty or no? Because you said mighty just then.
I'm sorry. Old, beautiful, and inscribed. Sorry, 3 dice. Okay. Yes. Yep.
And that's 3 gold dice, you said?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Correct. Yep. So what's going to happen is when you roll the dice, you're going to roll your 2 mortal dice of jet. That is because you are healthy. If you lose one of them, you are half dead. And if you lose the last one, you are departing for the waters of the underworld and can do some last things on the way out, which might include haunting somebody or something. Great. So that is what we need to know, that the war chief Ngubhob is after you, and you have Duck Bob in your possession. It wants to find places to sunbathe, and that, so we have you have a power and you have a goad. Chris, who are you?
I am yeah, that really does roll out your throat, doesn't it? Yeah. Ekha, the faded hero, and my bad dad is I'm from the world of names. Bash Bashuli.
That seems like a really ancient name to me. That is yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So who
Like-
is Bashulhi? Bashulhi. Wow, it's two sh in a row.
Bashulhi.
Is Great Ma in the center of the earth.
Mm.
Acid greedy. It's kind of like a canyon, like a giant wound in the earth.
Mm.
Something very
Nice.
deep down there.
Menacing. All right, so that is your ancestor. Somehow that has birthed somebody who birthed you. And it let me get the right page here. There you are. Okay. Is it oh we'll go back over these in a little bit. So it's there's an oracle who tells you it's what it wants you to do. Who is that oracle? Could be a relative, could be whatever that relationship is that's interesting to you.
Say aunt, or let's see, full of names. Aunt Eshna is my oracle.
And does Eshna live in this canyon?
Yes. She lives just in like the uppermost layer of it. Close enough so she doesn't travel that too far down, but like she lives within the wound, I guess, and then travels out to gather food for herself and sacrifices that she throws into the into the chasm.
Oh, so this isn't like a temple. This is like a witch in the woods kind of situation.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So do you have a people? Do you have a city? Do you lead people?
Ooh. Yes, I am definitely a leader of persons. See, all from the well of names, I guess. Darashkub tribe.
Darashkub. Yeah, sure. The Darashkub. Oh, sorry. So you're a tribe. Like it's not a city. Like are you nomads?
Dude, yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
Great. All right. So
I'm
you
a
like
nomad.
cycle through here, right?
Yeah. So
Great,
so
cool.
we cycle through here. We like every couple seasons we make a great pilgrimage back to the Maw, and then make our sacrifices.
What kind of thing do you have to sacrifice?
What kind of thing do I have to sacrifice?
Yeah.
Currently, thing. But I take from those who have stuff to sacrifice and sacrifice it.
Mhm.
And sacrifice it. You know. I guess we are raiding nomads.
Yeah, sure. Okay. So yeah, so it sounds like that is so it's the your Aunt Eshna has sent your tribe led by you off to go to bring back something to sacrifice. What do you think it is?
Can you repeat that one more time?
What do you think it is? It sounds like you've been sent off to go bring something back to sacrifice, and Eshna knows where to send you for it. I mean, the classic things are perfect cattle, particularly beautiful things. I think could be a person. You might not have the civilized demeanor that frowns on human sacrifice. You might. I don't know what else is good. A particular treasure. Oh, is there perhaps somebody? Does the tribe have an enemy? Do you want to bring back their prince and throw them in the pit?
I like the cut of your jib, Josh. That sounds right up my alley. Yeah.
Great.
Sounds awesome.
All right, so you have to find a prince. I mean, we're gonna say like that prince is a prince of a city. Like this is you're trying to contend with a civilization here. Prince Irkinzub definitely seems like a different.
Dude, that name
different
just
name.
sounds like he deserves to be in the bottom of a pit, doesn't it?
That sounds like somebody to throw in a hole.
Yeah. All right, it's all coming
sweet.
together.
Ava. Oh, I want to say there is a rule here, which is seek coincidences and seize on them. So if you're like, hey, that kind of sounds like this other guy, it probably is that other guy. If you're like, I'm traveling on a road, like that's the same road I'm traveling on. Okay,
Nice.
Eva, what
Yes.
is your name? Let's start with that.
I am Rima, a name dealer.
Mm-hmm. And whom do you flee?
So I flee a woman of some power.
Mhm.
I'm not sure what kind of power. Let's get her name. Yatal.
Yatal. It's a good name. Priestess, perhaps a hero, king / queen of a city.
She's definitely the daughter of kings.
Ooh, so is this the sister of Irkinzub?
Sure.
Great.
Is he as big
And
as
why
of
do you
a dick as he sounds? Sorry.
Might run in the family. We'll see how this goes. Why are you fleeing Yatal?
So I was supposed to tell her the name of her one true love.
Uh-huh.
And instead of divulging that, I fled because doing so and introducing the two would have led to great disaster.
Sounds like you made the right choice. And who was that love? Oh God, was it her brother? Is that what we're gonna do?
I
for
hope
economy
not.
Economy of characters.
This is the Bronze Age. You never know.
Let's draw a
Some
name from
cities do
that.
Mufash.
Mufash.
Mufash, because that's kind of a romantic name. Yeah, that could be somebody you'd want to fall in love with.
I'm about to tear up. There better not be a canyon near. Oh, there is a canyon nearby. Oh gosh, I'm throwing Mufash into this hole. Doing Lion King. It's great.
Mufasha.
So you have a name that aids you. What is that? It's anything that has a name. I think we lost Ava again. Or Ava's thinking really hard.
Let's be thinking about what the thing wants then, so that we can present a unified front when she gets back.
Yeah. Let's see.
It wants.
does
What if?
it, does it,
What if it wants to keep Erkenzub safe?
oh
Okay.
man.
So the hero
Yeah.
and the oracle or the name dealer are somewhat
Right
cross
on.
purposes.
Yeah.
I'm trying to throw.
Or
and
is
I'm
that
trying to get her brother.
is that sort of conflict too direct?
No. Direct is good.
Okay.
We'll make a mess out of it as we go. I hope Ava comes back soon. We're
She's typing
plotting
something.
things for her. Wi-Fi issues.
Who did Ava
Aw,
replace?
man.
You might have to call them up.
She didn't replace anybody.
No. Oh, that's too bad. Oh, that was about to be really good.
I know.
I really was looking forward to a terrible love story there.
Oh man.
Folks, I'm just gonna take us to a quick little break here while I adjust the cameras real quick. Give us just a moment.
Yeah, we'll be right back.
All right, folks, thanks for that brief pause there. We are back, and I will step back into the shadows.
All right, so I'm sad we lost Ava, but that's such as the vagaries of the internet. Nobody made the proper sacrifices apparently. So what is going to happen here is we are going to sort of alternate around because there's me when you guys are there. There's still we'll be able to have other characters going around doing stuff. So what we're going to do is anytime we're curious, we ask somebody, where are you? What are you doing there? And what do you look like while you're doing it? We need some physical description. So Chris, where are you? What are you doing? Oh, and who else is there? That's the other one.
Okay. Who am I? I'm Eka.
Where are you?
Where am I?
Yep.
I am making my way towards we are making our way towards a nearby town to raid.
We got derailed. I actually forgot to ask you an important thing, which is, what is the trophy that you have?
Oh,
So this can be anything from an elephant tusk to your personal guard to whatever. Let's see, you're born from a chasm, right?
yeah.
Could be like a piece of rock crystal that comes out of the chasm.
Oh yeah, that sounds awesome. So it's kind of like a jagged, like kind of like it's like an obsidian spear.
Nice, sweet. Okay, so is it old? Is this like an ancestral weapon?
Yes.
Is it mighty? It's a spear. It better be.
Yeah.
Is it generous? That doesn't make any sense for a spear.
No.
Is it known to all? Is this a famous weapon?
Sure. Yeah. Why not?
Okay.
Yeah.
So, your obsidian spear gives you 3 mortal dice of jet.
Okay.
Your great name. Oh shoot! Did we not list it? No, we didn't. We didn't list it. Okay. So your great name. Pick any of these that are true.
Ooh.
Is it feared?
Yes.
I think so too. Is it generous? Do things come out of the chasm that support your tribe?
Yes. Like and like let's say like grows mushrooms and stuff from the
Yeah, great. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Is it beautiful?
In a way, in its own way, in its own like awe-inspiring, like majestic way.
Right, like in the way that like a desert or tundra is beautiful.
Yeah.
Sort of terrifyingly beautiful.
Yeah.
Is it known to all? Seems like this might be it seems like this might be like your tribe's secret, right?
Yeah, kind of
Yeah.
chilling. Like it's
Yeah. Is it mighty? Seems mighty, right?
I mean, I think gravity beats everything, right? You think you go to the bottom of that.
Yeah, nothing comes out that it doesn't want to kick back out. And is it present in Eidolon? So present in Eidolon means that either it's there and you're at it, which gives you a die, or you're somehow carrying around a representation of it, and that might be that you might have your guys carrying around a portable shrine to this thing, or when it's anthropomorphic, like you might be carrying around an idol. You might have its face on your shield, but this is a thing that doesn't have a face, and you certainly can't carry it around. You haven't described any physical representation of it other than its natural majesty.
Can anointed or whatnot like carve like a big scar in their chest? Have that count?
Yeah, sure, yeah, definitely, yep.
Yeah. So it's like a chasm in their
is the
chest.
scar like a map of it?
Yeah.
Nice.
So they
that's
always
really cool.
know where to return from their pilgrimage.
Yeah, nice. All right, so it is feared, generous, beautiful, present in Eidolon, and mighty. So that is 5 mortal dice of jet. So unless something else happens, somebody somehow kills the chasm, which I'm not sure exactly. I guess you could fill it, right? You could run a river into it. Then you have your own 2 mortal dice of jet, your body and your name. I should warn you, you can be shamed to death. Your reputation is everything to you.
Okay.
You can be shamed into irrelevance. So you probably don't. I mean, I guess you could die of a broken heart or something. And then you have your spear, which is old, mighty, and known to all. So that gives you 3 dice of gold. So when you're I just told those to you backwards. The trophies are mortal things. There's a physical object. They give you dice of jet. The great name gives you dice of gold. When your dice of jet, which is to say your mortality, rolls more strikes, more 5s and 6s than the gold does, then if the great name is jealous, then it can curse you. It can do you immediate harm.
Okay.
So if that kind of thing starts happening, definitely run around and get somebody to ask what it means.
Okay.
That's what oracles are for.
All right, gotcha.
Why does this keep happening to me? All right, so let's start now that we've finished your character sheet there. Where are you? What are you doing? Who else is there? And what do you look like right now?
Oh, is this still me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Who else is there? It would be my tribe. We're currently on the pilgrimage. What do I look like? He is a mountainous man. He's just shy of the prime of his life. He's still strong, but he's starting to burn to seed. Like he's got a bunch of different scars on him from different battles and raids. Like he's missing a pinky on his left hand, and but like he doesn't seem to bother him at all. And he carries a gourd and that he slings over his back. That he fills whatever wine or ale or spirit he can pillage from the village he just left. And
wine's a civilization thing. I mean, beer is common. Anybody who has fields around here probably grow barley. Beer is really common, but wine is from far away. If you find wine, that's like you found a treasure.
All right, cool. So yeah, it's definitely beer, and he's looking for some wine, I guess.
Yeah, right. And you're
He's thinking
all
Always
that
on the lookout.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if he gets the wine, he can lose the beer gut he's developing. You know.
Yeah. So you're all covered in scars and you're getting kind of old, but you not got no destiny on the sheet. So the way that you're going to get destiny down there is by doing your various great feats. And if you do a great feat, where the I lost my book here. If you test yourself in front of others, then that gets you followers. If you lead your followers, that will get you destiny. So remember that you want to be angling for getting up to something like 17 to 20. You might get lucky, but you only get to die once, so you're going to want to throw those dice when it's time. You might not get there this game. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. And if you die, we'll roll whatever you've got, and that has to do with how immortal you become. So you are, let's see, you are trying to find this prince, right? So you're probably traveling toward their city. You're going to go just get him from the city.
Oh yeah. Kick in
Great.
the front door. No knocking.
Opti, Adab is your name dealer. Where are you? What are you doing? Who's there? And what do you look like right now?
I think I am in this city that that Echa just arrived at. I'm gonna say that I am meeting with a prominent woman, maybe a queen, or a princess, or I mean, I don't know, queen of the city, right? Like that's a thing that could be, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, probably a hero in her own right. Hair like a lion's mane, spear as long as two men are tall, kind of deal.
Yes, I like it. What's I don't know if we need to name her yet or not, but let's see. We and yeah, she has asked for my help. Oh wait, you said I describe where I am, what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm giving her an oracle. I'm giving her a reading, or trying to tell her the answer that she wants to know. There is a prince from another place with us, and that is one of the things that she's asking about. And there's no wine, unfortunately, but but she has offered to pay me handsomely in foodstuffs for if I give her the right answer that she wants. But she's also threatened to kill me if what I say doesn't come true.
Typical hero.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, do we want to? I think we're going to go right there. Like you're at the walls, with your toughs. How many are you, Eka?
We are. Ooh, yeah. Like how many? Oh, see, we are 250 strong.
Oh, so yeah. All right. So you're not like a vast army, but you're.
Yeah. Yeah. Like we're nomads.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think how feasible. Like, what's a good number to have like a good strong unit of like just roaming nomads?
He's in the Bronze Age. I don't know. That's a pretty good number, man.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
This was like 250, right?
Yeah. Right. Yep. So like a city that's well, let's say this is a city. This is some fancy shit. This city has brick walls, and the gate is covered with ceramic, and it's topped with a lamasu. It's a lion's body with the wings of an eagle and the bearded face of a man, and lamasu like order and cities and stability. So it's there to, it was carved from stone to hold this city's wall against any invader. So what's going to happen is you're going to just talk about stuff that you're doing, and Opti and I will just say what happens back. The only time we can't just say what happens back is when you coerce, you test yourself, you follow your passion for another, or you lead your followers. So coerce is do this thing or else. Test yourself is I'm going to pick up the city gates. Like let's see how mighty you are, and that will get you followers. That will get your guys behind you. Like right now they're with you, but they're not with you. Lead your followers usually means that there's something that they're going to get out of it. You can give them the spoils of whatever, or at least the benefit of whatever it is that you've done. And follow your passion for another is when there's a character you want to have sex with, when there's a character you're just straight mad at, and there's not any real strategic thinking to it. Somebody like it's Paris and Helen, but it's also there was a character in a game whose dad was a thunderstorm, and he finally got so sick of being shoved around by his meddling dad that he turned around and throws a spear at the thunderstorm, and just I was like, this is not strategic. You are just finally blowing your lid at your dad. So that's for emotional outbursts that covers sex and romance, but also other kinds of things. Should that happen between any player characters, it does not violate consent, and it is actually, per the rules, extremely dangerous to force yourself on somebody. You will find yourself very quickly dead or shamed out of the game. So read the room if that's the direction that is going. It is welcome in the game as long as it is welcome to the players.
Sounds good to me.
Great.
So
so what are you doing? So you get all of your all of the benefits of your trophies and stuff when you brandish them proudly and shout your name. If you don't shout your name, then you are not going to accrue destiny at nearly the rate.
Gotcha.
You're not doing any sneaking around to get into the city.
Oh, okay. I thunder in. We thunder in on our horses, and
you're riding. So sorry to interrupt again.
Okay,
there are no horses here. This is think of this as the Middle East 6,000 years ago.
Okay.
Horses are something nobody has ever heard of. If you go far enough north into the mountains, you will find giant birds that people ride on, but you're not going to find horses. Around here, people will ride on camels and donkeys.
Okay.
I'm not sure if there's such a thing as a war donkey. There is in the book, you will find a tribe that rides on war goats, that ride on giant goats. But there are no horses in this environment.
Can
what
I have goats? That sounds perfect for castles.
Giant,
All right,
giant Damascus goats. Yep.
Boom. All right. So we thunder in on our. Oh yes, this is we thunder in on our goats, our rams of war, if you would, and the horns blow, and Eka brandishes his spear proudly, and is like, "Bring Islabub, whatever his name is."
So
he has a debt to pay.
I imagine as they see you approaching, they're going to slam that door shut pretty quick on the gate, and you're going to be shouting this outside, and they're civilized. They'll have parley. They'll send somebody to the top of the wall to shout at you. But yeah, they slam that door before you get there. That was your plan, was to storm right into the middle of the city.
Who were you asking for, Chris?
Ilzigzigzlob.
Is this the prince?
This is the prince. He doesn't know how to pronounce his name.
So Erkinzub was the prince. Is Erkinzub the same prince that's in the room with me and Queen Pashdal?
Yes.
Is this where we use that coincidence thing?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. You gonna send him down? Otherwise, we're coming up.
On top of the wall, you can see there's a captain of the guard who gestures to some guys, and a bunch of archers come up to the top of the wall.
I am I'm not sure exactly how this works, but we're just going for it. He is going. Eka brandishes his spear and slaps his chest. He's like, "We come from the bottom of chasms. Do you think your mere walls can stop us?" And he's going to ride his goat up the wall.
So the first thing they're gonna do is, since you don't seem interested in talking before, which is the civilized thing to do, is they're gonna fill you with arrows. So
Okay.
that is so here's how this works. You obviously don't want to be filled with arrows. If you get filled with arrows that will harm you, obviously what's at stake there is your own body's well-being. You probably don't want to take that. So you can say, instead of being pierced with arrows, I'm going to test myself. I'm going to you actually don't technically have followers yet.
Okay.
They're probably a little bit nervous about throwing themselves on a city wall. They're not too into it. So what are you going to do to test yourself? You can do something else. You can coerce them, but this seems like you're gonna have to. You're trying to endure an ordeal. Adab, all of a sudden there's a ruckus, and soldiers are running around outside, and somebody runs over and whispers in the queen's ear, and she stands up, and what does she have? Oh god, she's got an antler that she fights with. She picks up like a sharpened antler. She is like, the way the nobility here is that inside the palace they're naked, and they like oil and paint their bodies and stuff. So like she stands up like a full head above you, and her hair's like sort of flares out, and she grabs this antler that sticks out of her hands like claws, and pushes past you, which is like having a tree walk through you.
Okay.
And she goes to get up and face this threat. So what are you doing about these arrows that are coming in?
He is going to test himself because Eka is sure that he can brandish the obsidian spear and swat these puny arrows out of the sky.
Super sweet. So what that means is you are going to roll all your dice at once. It is my sincere hope that you wrote down those dice when I was saying them, because I
so on my dice I have 5 gold and 3 jet.
Okay. You put it in the tell the bot yourself, because that way it will give you the correct kinds. No bang at the beginning.
Okay.
All right, you've rolled 1 strike, which is way better than 0. No strikes upon your immortal dice of gold. Hey, that's fantastic. As a fated hero, if you have shouted to all your name, you have brandished your trophies proudly, you have, and impressed upon all those present your magnificence, seize a destiny. So mark that down.
Destiny.
You are vulnerable to your great name now. You're absolutely doing what the great name wants you to do. The great name is not gonna fuck with you. You're in alignment. They may demand a labor of you. You're already doing the labor. So you can now choose. You can choose a maximum of 3 from these lists of 4. So the list for test yourself is you get to choose 1 of these 4, and then Opti, you and I can choose to subvert any of the remaining ones. So Chris, choose one of these. Seize 1 destiny and take followers as a trophy from among the witnesses. Pretty rad. 2, you succeed in this trial. Which if you do not succeed in this trial, you are going into this badly hurt.
Okay.
3, you are neither harmed nor shamed. And 4, no other is harmed. So unsurprisingly, perhaps throwing yourself at a city wall is not the best strategy. That said, pick one of those, and we may, at our editorial discretion, pick others.
I succeed in this trial.
All right, you succeed. So you swat the arrows away. They were supposed to fill you with arrows, but one of them has pierced your cheek and is wedged into the skin of your shoulder here.
Oh man.
I don't think this is going to deter you, but you are harmed right now. So what happens when somebody is harmed? You are half dead.
Okay.
When somebody is harmed, it means that you have taken a life-altering injury. We're going to see this effect forever. You might be missing teeth, but you swatted away an impressive number of arrows. Now we can. Opti, we can grant any of these that we think are interesting for whatever reason, or we can subvert them.
I can't help but think watching someone ride up the walls of a city and survive the aerodome is going to gain him a few followers along the way.
Yeah, I think so too. No, I think your guys are like, holy shit, we're in this. All right. I don't really want it's like turning and running away also seems like a bad idea. Let's go. Yeah. So you can seize the trophy of your tribe's warriors. We should give them a name.
Ooh, yeah.
What is you know what we're gonna in the course of this battle we're gonna know what they're like. We'll give them a name in a second, but they are not old.
1,000%. Yes.
They are definitely mighty. I don't know if they're generous. They're about to be known to all because I think they're about to break into. So the fact that you've got goats means that you can just like hop up these walls. It's awesome. That's fantastic.
This is great.
Yeah. So they did not see this coming. So Opti, let's get back to you. Where are you as this shit's going down?
So yeah, the Queen Pashdal has stood up in her glory and apparently is about to meet Echa in battle, or that's what her plan is.
Yep.
And the reason that she wanted me here was not related to this, but she is somewhat superstitious, or she's somewhat I don't know, spiritual in that way. So she would probably ask me for the oracle for the battle. Like, hey,
Yep.
where's this going to go? How's this going to go down? And the prince, I think, is probably some cowardly type guy who's just sort of hanging around to sort of get whatever glory he can by
having a rich dad.
Sure, yeah, by going wherever, this is not the queen's son. This is some foreign guy who wants to bed her and ride her marvelous coattails.
Yeah.
So yeah, she asks. I imagine she would ask me for an oracle, like, hey, prophesy the win for our city.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, she's turned and faced you. She has two slaves applying war paint to her face, putting a coal under her eyes, and painting this giant skull grin on her face. And she says, prophesy how we win. Good luck, man.
Right. So I will consult.
This is not actually a power. See the future is not actually one of your powers. This is the power that people think you have.
So what?
You're
would this be
what they desire, right?
Yeah. Would this be a time when I would consult Dakab, and would Dakab answer, or am I just saying something?
You certainly, yeah. I mean, you want to offer her what she desires, which is how to win. You're going to tell her you will win if babada.
Okay, yeah, then I'll do that. Yeah, she wants me to prophesy. I'll prophesy.
Yeah. Great. So roll all your dice.
All right. I believe I have 3 gold and 2 jet.
That sounds very plausible. Chris, did you write down your warriors? Because I think you're going to need more dice real bad in a second.
So my warriors, you mean how many I have?
Yeah, your company, they're now your followers, so they're a trophy.
Okay.
And they're not old. They're all the young guys, but they are mighty. They're just mighty right now, so they give you 1 die right now.
So
And
I get 1 additional die now.
Yep. For them, if you lose them, if they die, then you'll lose that die.
Sweet. Yeah. I'm gonna need a bunch more. Yeah.
I have rolled 1 strike upon my mortal dice and no strikes upon my immortal dice. It says I've succeeded and to choose 1 consequence.
All right, you got a very straightforward answer there. So you can choose from these 3. They agree to do as you ask in exchange. You have not yet asked anything. So now that you know that she's listening, you can ask her for something. They make no further demand before accepting this agreement, and their agreement endures. You can have a maximum of 2 of these. Right now, you only rolled 1 strike anyway, so you only get 1 of them. I recommend taking the first one.
Sure. And this is I just get something from her that I want.
Yeah, I mean, you can.
Well, she's agreed if I give her the prophecy that she wanted in a different context. She's agreed to give me a bunch of foodstuffs and whatnot.
Yeah.
I think enough for me to take with me and to survive a good
Trade,
long
probably.
way. Yeah, trade.
But this is something like you can get her. You can say, if I survive, you will win. Right. So now she wants to.
Sure.
Now she wants to keep you alive during a battle.
Yes, that makes sense. Yeah. So as long as as long as I'm alive, you will have victory. But should harm befall me, then your city will fall as well, as will you.
So the in that truth table, the only place where it turns sour is you survive and she loses the battle. Under
again,
any of those other circumstances, it's okay.
Right? But like, who's going to be around to punish me?
Oh, I mean, she might be. She might be real cranky about it. So here's what you're gonna do. Actually, she says, "I so swear," and add her to your sheet. At least for the time being, she's not old. Oh wait, this is the wrong one. Sorry, she is not old. She is beautiful. She is big. She's known to all. She is mighty.
Nice.
Oh, and she's inscribed. Holy shit!
Woo!
So she gives you an additional 5 dice. She is behind you.
These are gold dice.
Those are gold dice. Yep.
Holla. We're
Now,
gonna
keep
kick
in
your
mind-
ass, Chris.
Please
Yeah,
go.
Yeah. So your guys are following you up the wall. The soldiers are freaked out that you can do this. Like, that's not how a wall is supposed to work. How are you armed? Is it like spears, slings, are extremely common?
Spears and like hide shields.
Yeah. Like over your head as they're pelting stuff down on you.
Yeah. It's like and then like rock clubs or stone daggers made from like obsidian or different rocks that they could
Sure.
fashion together. Our strength is in our goats and strength of our arm, not
I
necessarily.
love
our
the idea of them
Yeah.
flinging obsidian from slings. Right? Like,
Yeah.
Sharp.
Are they doing
shit.
that? Are they slinging obsidian?
Yeah, sure. Yeah,
That's a pretty. Yeah. So what I'm worried about here is that you don't have anything to strike back at them until you get to the top. But slings are a thing that everybody knows in this area. They're the backbone of these armies, or the armies of slings, and every shepherd knows how to use them too, or goat herd knows how to use them too.
So
you're flinging stones up onto the top of the thing as little bits of sharp obsidian.
Right, sharp stuff. It's just like
Yeah.
embedding.
So they've got like and they've got like bronze helmets, but it's hot, it's day, right? You came here during the day. You didn't come at night. You came when nobody in the right mind would come out and fight you. So they are basically wearing like a bronze helmet. They're on like regular duty, so they've got like cloth clothes and stuff. They were not prepared for this. Because nobody throws themselves on the walls. That would be ridiculous. So that is they are in a bit of a panic until their warrior queen shows up, which is about to happen. Are you at their head, or are any of your guys getting ahead of you?
I am. He's definitely. It's definitely a lead from the front guy.
Great.
So he's gonna try to coerce these scared dudes up here before anybody with a backbone shows up and rallies them into shape.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? So he wants to as you know, like obsidian is like already pelting them and whatnot. He breaches the top with his mighty obsidian spear, and he lands and he's like, "Throw down your arms and show me the way to that sniveling prince of yours, and then I will let you live and even partake in the wine that's sure to be in the palace."
We don't have any. So yeah, roll those dice.
Alrighty.
Let's see if somebody's actually gonna panic.
And I now only have 2 jet now that I'm injured, correct?
Yes, that's correct. Yep. So you will notice that you are now have to spend one on not being harmed all the time.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, that's why that's what it means to be half dead.
No strikes.
Oh, no strikes. Holy shit. Yeah. All right. So, you get 2 destinies. So you might want to roll those 3 destinies that you've got right now, because you're kind of in deep shit.
So then I just roll 3 of any kind of dice?
Yeah. I mean, you want them to be, well, you probably want them to be gold, so that you don't accidentally wind up pissing off your ancestor, but it obviously doesn't really matter right now. Oh my god. Wait. Oh, okay. 1 star. Okay, 1 is way better than 0. But I think you want to choose "you are not harmed" in the exchange, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so they do not do as you demand. They I guess they can't shoot up here because they're going to hit their own guys. Yeah, so they've got what are you armed with at the top of a wall? Probably swords, right? Spears probably don't do that much up here because there's not a lot of room. So they have swords. They're like leaf-bladed swords. They're I mean, which is still a big sword. Swords don't get very big. They're about yay long, like a hefty kitchen knife. It will still make you just as dead as as a larger steel sword. Yeah, so they have you surrounded, and they're trying to back you back off the wall.
Okay, so they kind of back up just a touch, but he girds himself, and then it's like, "Rally yourselves!" And he is actually just going to bound over the other side of the wall and just kind of.
Yeah, all right, that is definitely a test yourself kind of.
Yeah.
Well, actually, you're leading your followers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So roll for lead.
Yeah. Just roll all my dice again.
Yep. You always throw all your dice. The only time you don't throw your dice is if you have dice in something that died or was broken or something like that, you lose them. Or they abandon you. That can happen too. Two strikes and no strikes. All right, great. Choose 2 consequences.
Alrighty. I will succeed, and no one is.
Yeah, you want to not be harmed, or you will be dead.
So yeah, I will not be harmed, and I succeed.
Yeah, great. So there is tremendous fighting. You can hear the death screams of goats and men on the top of the wall. but let's call it like a dozen guys are with you, and you're now inside the city. They're just like people who live in the city, fleeing in panic all around you, and you hear this rhythmic drumming, and you look up. Have you been in a city before?
No.
Yeah. So like you are just like surrounded, like all of a sudden, like you smell shit, you smell garlic, you smell fish. It's like a completely confusing. There's no place that's wider than like a donkey can walk. It's all little winding streets, and you hear this drum beat coming and closer and closer, and you look up the street, and which you are a path is perhaps how you think of it, and our queen is there with an antler in each hand. Her skin is shining with sweat and oil. She looks like she's made of gold, and she holds it out and points one of the antlers toward you. And anybody who's left on the streets just cleared out. All the soldiers sort of back off. Like they don't even want to be close. Opti, where are you right now?
I've been following sort of behind Queen Kashdal and sort of fairly confident in what I said, but like also with the sort of vague awareness that like this could go badly. Because I'm looking at this person who's got an arrow through their mouth and they just scaled the wall on a goat, and my eyes fall on this obsidian weapon of theirs, and I think, oh wow, that's big time, over a couple of antlers. And DeKalb says, as long as he has that spear, you will lose. And I'm, oh shit. So I think it's my mission to try to get that spear away from Echa, or else this is going to go pretty badly. So I think I'm gonna run out there and wave, like I'm gonna do some sort of parlay or something like that, and try to. Yeah. I'm gonna try to pull a fast one over on Echa, and I'm gonna try to steal a spear in the.
Realized we never named it, but we did say it was known by all, so I just drew from the well of names, and the spear's name is Fahi.
Yeah. Oh my God, he's got Fahi, the obsidian spear. This is an unwinnable fight for the queen. So yeah, I'm gonna run out there, wave my hands and sort of bow down and make prostrations before Echa and ask if I can just have a moment of his time, because the gods are speaking at this very moment. And then I don't know how much of this we do beforehand or whatever, but the ultimate goal is I'm gonna try to steal the spear.
Well, yeah. Just describe what you're doing, and one of us will say, "Hey, you're thieving, or you're making an offer, or whatever the thing is that you do."
So yeah,
if you do something and we're like, "Oh, that's making an offer," you're like, "Oh, I was trying to steal it," then just back up and change. You can ask us like, "What would I have to do to try to steal it?" instead of.
Okay, cool. I was looking at my moves, and that seemed like a fun thing to do. So, I'm gonna wave down Echa, and say the gods have a word. A word for Echa, the mighty.
Well, the gods will have to wait till after I fight this big woman over here.
Sure. You are
your prophecies after the battle, and Zigzagzubs is in chains.
Yes. The arrow in your mouth was only a warning. The next will pierce your heart. All I need is 1 moment.
I forgot. Yeah, there's one in the
yeah, you're just like spraying blood every time you
talk. And so he's gonna ride past. What do you look like again?
I think I probably look like some sort of hermit. I'm not dressed very fancily, but I probably have this sort of like really wild beard. I imagine that he doesn't have many clothes on under, but probably just has this sort of just like a sort of robe that just lays, wildly all over, almost like a poncho, but then it's just sort of tied in the middle or something like that.
You look supremely sage-like or oracle.
I would say like supremely bizarre. Something that when you look at them, you go, my goodness, like what is this?
Are you carrying around this?
Yes,
this
and I'm waving around
sarcophagus?
my mummified snake in a sarcophagus.
Is the snake like a scepter or a wand, or is it like a staff? Like how big is this thing?
If we said it wasn't big, but like it would be kind of fun if it was like literally a mummified snake that that was a sort, and maybe not even a staff, maybe just like almost like a wand. Like I shake it like a wand or something like that. And it's got like jewels on it. So everything about me screams poverty and wilderness, but then you've got this weird snake-looking thing which screams opulence and reverence, right? And I was like, the cob must have his voice heard. Yeah.
Okay.
Parley.
She's over here glistening in the sun. Like, how can I say no to such a challenge?
Right. I will say, well, look, it's Dakab, the oracle of the stars. Behold, feel its power resonating from within, and I'll offer to him to hold the snake.
Okay. So I'll hold the snake.
All right, that means he wanted it. So you offered him what he desired. Roll those dice.
All right, let's see here. So am I rolling all of the dice, even including with
you always roll all your dice? Yep, unless they abandon you or
okay.
die or whatever. Yep. Yeah. You got a fuck ton right now.
One strike on Jet, 3 strikes on Gold, 2 destinies, and I'm vulnerable to my named ones.
Yeah, you're well, yes, you are vulnerable to your named ones, but you are in accord with the queen, certainly. You are making it so that she will be victorious one way or the other.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is she gonna be like, oh man.
What are my options?
Well, all right. So first, so she can demand a labor of you, which might be. I'm thinking like the labor is get out of my way. I'm going to put his head behind my throne, and then if you don't do it, she'll hurt you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what she's going to do. She doesn't like she figures she can beat this guy. He's already got 1 arrow in him.
And I've already told her that if I stay alive. No, I said if I stay alive, the city won't fall. I didn't say she wouldn't die.
Yeah, it's true.
Look at me being tricky. All right. So what is my success and the consequences mean?
You can. It sounds like sure her threat. What you're doing can be quick enough that her threat can come afterwards.
Okay.
What you're doing, so you have, you get to take 2 of those. They agree to do as you ask in exchange. They make no further demand before accepting the agreement, or their agreement endures.
I'm going to say the agreement endures.
And you have another one. So they agree to do what you ask in exchange?
Is this towards Echa?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. I'll say, as I handed over Dakab, the snake, Dakab revealed to me that Echa's true purpose is to get the prince, what is it? Urkenkub?
We were laughing about how hard it was to pronounce, and now we're stuck with it.
Right. Yeah. So Urkenzub revealed to be Prince Urkenzub, who you really desire. I can deliver him to you if you will back off, spare the city, or you can forfeit and lose both. You could lose the city, your life, and Urzakub.
If you could promise me,
Echa is going to agree. This is your power, is that you can make him agree to this. And if you choose their agreement endures, it means that you get to add echa to your dice.
Oh,
Yeah.
Smack. All right. So yeah, I will say this is how you win, and this is what you're going to do.
Alrighty.
Yeah. So meet me. Take your forces, flee, and I will bring Erkenzub to you, and you will have my service.
Yeah, I will see you then when the sun is low.
All right, so check this out. The Echa is old. Is Echa beautiful? Echa does not seem beautiful.
Oh, he's not beautiful.
Does not seem to be a thing.
Especially
he's
now with
big.
an arrow in his mouth.
Yeah, right. At the moment, he's particularly
He
beautiful.
was before.
Yeah. He's not known to all, but he is mighty. So old. Oh, yeah, here we are. Old. Damn it.
Definitely old and mighty for sure.
Yeah, old, mighty. He's not inscribed. You guys don't seem like a writing kind of people, and you're big. So that's 3 dice that he will give to you. The equivalent, by the way, is if you test yourself in front of Adab and Adab is impressed, then you get to take Adab as a trophy. And if you follow your, I mean, there's no reason for you to have any passion for him, but if you follow your passion for him, that will also do it.
Leans.
Yeah.
So, but I'm
Passion
already
is currently
leaving.
implausible.
I'm
You're
leaving, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So you talk them back out the gate.
Follow me, men. Victory will come later. Ah!
The queen walks up behind you and like gives you a clap on the back that just like knocks the wind out of you. And she says, your words are powerful.
My queen, have I not held my end of the bargain?
You have. Now come, let us drink. I have a secret store of wine.
I knew it.
Yes, and as we go back, I will make sure to keep my eye on Erkenzub, and I'm going to try to convince him of the secret deal I made and how he can gain glory that is unearned for himself by killing Echa when we meet.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm gonna come out with whoever wins this.
So here's a fun rule that I'm particularly happy about in this game, which is you may not reveal what is inside your character's mind and heart except as a lie. So what you're telling us right now is either a lie or you're telling us the truth with us thinking that it's a lie, because we know that the rule is that it has to be a lie. The reason for that is you are in no way bound to the plan that you just laid out
great.
there.
Excellent. So if I was going to say that, I would say like I would be keeping my eye on Erkenzub.
I mean, definitely like say what you're doing. But anything that comes from inside the character, you are bound to defy our expectations. But of course, you're second guessing what our expectations are.
Excellent. So I will approach him then after some wine, and tell him straight out, I have the queen can offer some, but I believe you can offer much more to Dakab. I have arranged it so that you may kill this warlord Echa, and in doing so, take his warband for yourself and make your name great. Then you would not need to seek others and ride on their donkey, as it says, so to speak. If you would only follow me, when the sun goes down or whatever. What did we say, Chris? No, when
at sundown.
at sundown, yeah. Oh, because it was the hot of the day, right? Yeah.
Yep. So, Irzkub, was that his name?
Erkinzub.
Irkinzub. I want to say this kid's like 17. He's very beautiful. He's from a different people, so he's wearing really
Silks and stuff.
colorful embroidered silk, and he's got rings on every finger, and he's just one of those people who everybody's been telling him how pretty he is his whole life, and that's all he's got, and how important his dad is. So he's a real charmer. But let's get back to that in a minute, because I want to talk about what Echad is doing as after you leave the wall. That door gets slammed behind you real hard.
Yeah. And as he hears the door slam, he laughs because he never used it, and it's
yeah, right. You have to open it up to let you out.
Yeah. And then after they get out of the wall, he breaks the arrow off in his mouth, and he like takes it out, and and he's having attendants sew his mouth shut as he's like, great. Where's an oracle? Do we have an oracle nearby?
Oh, God. No, your oracle's your aunt, right? So that's she's back there. She's the one who knows stuff. All right. So you're gonna get that die back because you got it tended to. But you are always going to have that scar in your cheek and on your shoulder where the arrow passed through, and into your shoulder. For the time being, of course, you have your stitches there. So this is done with a porcupine quill and what would the thread be? Probably like animal hair. So it's
probably
it's pretty gnarly.
Goat gut or something like that. Like
Goat gut. Yeah, totally. That's a good one. Yep. So it's gonna make a pretty gnarly scar. And you keep yelling all the time, so it keeps opening up again.
It just keeps popping by stitches.
Yep. You guys like, it goes back to sew back together. So you guys probably make camp out there, right?
Yes.
Yeah, all right. So were you going around with it's not your whole tribe. Like this was the warriors of the tribe, right? Everybody else is probably going to come up and meet you.
This is the vanguard or the
the
tip of the spear.
Right. The rest of the spear being like the little kids, the old ladies. So what do you suppose you guys eat? Like you're traveling, you're just in a city where there are probably fancy foods. You're surrounded by farm fields, actually. There's a river near here. Oh, actually, there is a river near here. You guys could go catch fish and things.
Catch fish, make some flatbreads and such to travel with. Fried like goat cheese.
Right. Goat cheese is probably a big part of your diet. Yeah.
And then when goats are particularly injured or getting old or infirm, we cull them and have mutton.
Yep. Yeah. Or goat. It's just goat. Mutton is sheep. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. My bad.
Yeah. So, actually, you do have dead goats right now because that battle did not go swimmingly. So you have dead goats that you can eat. So that's.
Oh, and we have mushrooms, but I think we're going to save those mushrooms. I think I want to do like a berserker mushroom-esque type thing.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Berserker mushrooms.
Yes.
These are no regular like good mushrooms. These are the good mushrooms.
Yeah.
These are great mushrooms.
Yeah, fabulous. So like everybody is like the rest of your tribe catches up with you, and they've been doing food preparation and stuff, and they're ready to tend wounded and find out who's dead, and you get to say who died and how they died, because you're their leader, and there is mourning, but when actually let's even say your aunt is there, like this is she's with the rest of the tribe. So I'm imagining her as really old. Does that seem right? Yeah,
He is as old as time. At least that's
great.
At least that's what she says to everybody.
Right. So you'll probably go see her, right?
Yes. Aunt Esna, how are you? How's your bum foot?
It's the when the damp from the river got in, it started to hurt. But I noticed you're empty-handed. I don't see any piece of that.
Hey, where did it go? As I say that, like I'm popping like all of my stitches. Like, I mean, no. I'm gonna meet up with him later. Later, it's no problem. Like as his heart's like thumping out of his chest, you can like see it in his fucking like chest wound or whatever.
She says, you spoke with him?
With who?
With the prince.
Oh no. I spoke with a sage, much like you. He had this really. Actually, do I still have the cob?
Sure.
I don't know. Yeah.
Like if I have your spear, maybe that's it.
right.
Maybe we took both in pledge or something.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Great.
Yeah. So I spoke with a sage, and he dressed very, very odd, but he had this, and he pulls up the cob.
She sort of reaches out and touches it, and like sort of like holds it like holding a child who you're speaking with, and she says, "You might come. You may have done a good job. You may have done well."
Like he beams at that. He's like, "Yeah." He's like,
I wasn't sure that's how that was gonna go.
High praise. You might have done well.
Yeah.
That's the best I've gotten out of her so far.
Yeah, I don't feel like she's effusive with praise. That's not her way. All right, so what's going on? So there's a party in the palace. They repelled some invaders. They are psyched about you because the last oracle was wrong, and they said that they could that they knew the names of the constellations, and they claimed that the constellations told them the date of their death, and so that was they couldn't have that around, so they executed that oracle. So they're delighted to have you around. They're giving you wine. There's date honey. There is chewy, fluffy flatbreads that you've never had before. There's a spice that tastes a little bit like the smell of the earth after it rains, or when it's about to rain. There are What is the sexual bent of Adab?
Oh, I think he goes where the wind takes him.
Great.
Yeah.
All right. So, there is. You know what? Actually, it's breezy. You just did hero stuff. There are the prettiest people you have ever seen in your life, sort of draped around you, princes and princesses, and the ones who are less personally inclined have sent over their prettiest slaves. And in the middle of it, the queen holds up a cup and says, "May Adab join us here until he dies." And everybody cheers and holds up their wine.
It's not on the plan. That wasn't.
Hooray!
I mean, I suppose the queen could be the one I serve forever, but that's not the sense that I've gotten so far. Well, man, how do I get out of that one?
Yeah, she's
Die.
not gonna,
That's how you get out of that.
see, the thing is that she doesn't want you to outlive her. Is the thing. But you know,
Sure.
it's a good gig,
Right? May long live Queen Poshtal.
Everybody
That's-
cheers.
Yeah. We'll deal with that later.
You are covered in gentle and passionate kisses.
Yes, not on the
let's go
mouth,
back to-
please. This is for holy things only. But will otherwise be very indulgent.
So the prince with the ridiculous name I keep forgetting.
Erkinzub.
Freaking
All right, I have to put this in this other chat.
He's irking us with his name. That's how I'm
Yeah.
remembering it.
So he approaches you, like now that he sees that the queen likes you, and says, "I have a question for you, soothsayer."
I am known for
He's stroking his
my
beard like he has a
answers.
beard. He has not yet grown a beard.
Speak. I will tell you the answer that comes.
He shoos away everybody else who's a little like, sort of like, who's this asshole? But they back off. And he sits beside you. Oh, everybody but the queen is sitting on a what's the word I'm looking for? A hussock, is that what we're looking for? A cushion on the floor, right? So there's like little tables, all the food goes on little tables and stuff. So he and the queen is on a throne. She's up on a dais on a big chair. And he sits beside you and says, "How will I win this queen's heart?"
Who was saying this? Is this Erkinzub?
Erkinzub, yeah.
Okay.
I mean-
Slay Echa, and I'll pull out the
Yeah.
spear with his own
Yeah.
spear and present his pierced face to her.
Oh.
And
he's
and you
reluctant to
will.
take it.
What's that?
He's reluctant to take it. Like he's like, "Oh shit, I have to do the work."
Well, I sense your hesitation. Nevertheless, if you follow me at midday, or no, at nightfall,
Sunset,
I
right?
can I can deliver him into your hands.
Deliver her into his hands, right?
I can deliver Echa into your
All right,
hands.
all right. Deliver Echa into your right. That you
Yeah.
can bring right. Yep. Great.
If you want me to kill him for you, I require gold. I require gold and riches.
well, hold on, because you made him an offer, which means that
Yeah.
you get to roll, and then you get to.
But he also said that he didn't really want to do it himself. So I'm.
Oh yes.
And
Oh, good point. Yes.
And I
yes,
don't
right,
tell you
right.
what I'm really thinking, so I'm.
Yes. Yeah.
I say, if you want me to kill him for you, I will kill him with his own spear. You can take the credit, but you owe me big.
Yep. All right. So
ahead of time.
roll those dice. Yep.
Yeah. Let's see. I'm gonna get 5 for Postal, 3 for Eka, 3 for. Oh, I don't have Dakab. Does that matter?
Dakab. Oh, that's a good question.
But I have
Dakab only
spear.
matter. Yes, Dakab is still working in your behalf. Yep.
Man, that's 11 gold dice.
Yep.
Bling.
Unfortunately, you haven't actually betrayed any of them, so you can see the situation you're in at this point.
That's no strikes on my mortal and 4 on my immortal.
Oh, all right.
Succeeded, 2 consequences. I can seize 2 destinies and I'm vulnerable. Okay. So are the 2 consequences the destinies? Are those the same things or no?
No. Consequences are they agree to do what you ask in exchange. They make no further demand before accepting this agreement, and their agreement endures.
The first one seems clear.
Destiny is just a quantity. So you got 2. Is that what it said?
Yeah. Choose 2 consequences and seize 2 destinies.
Oh! You didn't say that you're nameless. Yeah. Okay. All right. So if you say in the bot if you say, I am if you say I am Adab, a name dealer, then it will only give you the name deal options. So seize 2 destinies. Yes. Okay. Great. Okay. I was reading the wrong one.
Gotcha.
And they're not going to demand a labor of you because everything you're doing is right in line with everybody you've made an agreement with. So that's working great for you. And so bank those destinies. Those are, if you make a plan, if you lie in wait for somebody, then those are the dice that you use to do that. Or if your roll is terrible and it's a critical moment, you can roll all of them and use them up. Or if you're dead, they're all the dice that you have left.
Okay, so I've succeeded, and he's going to do what I want. So the thing I just said was, I will kill Echa for you if you join me at nightfall, and you have to give me some gold or treasure or something up front.
Yeah. So he will give you. Oh, he gives you like a torque off his arm. And it's gonna have a story behind it, right? He says this belonged to my grandfather. He said it brought him favor in battle. That sounds like something that has a name. You might want to strike up a conversation with it.
Let's see. Sure. This thing has a name, so I will talk to it. Right?
Yep.
Are we alone now? So we've made the deal, and now I can sort of,
Yeah, and the language of names, you can speak it out loud, or you can speak it between breaths. You can hear it in a hurricane. You are not bound to normal space and time once you're having these conversations.
Okay. Then I think touching my lips to it and whispering to it is the right move here.
Yeah.
So before I put it on, I'll whisper to it. And do I ask it its name? Do I say its name?
Well, you don't know its name yet, so you've got to talk to it like you would anybody.
Okay. Then I'm a dab. You come from kings. Do I speak correctly?
I do come from kings. Came from one king. Passed from his indolent son to his indolent grandson.
You are made for higher glories. Yes, I can give these to you.
Can you? We're going to give this the name. Oh, I did. Nanam. I think Nanam is not right.
No.
No, it doesn't sound like a Nanam.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bursar. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, Bursar. Yeah. Oh, actually, it's going to be both. It's Bursar Nanam is his name. Yeah. So it's like.
Oh, can it be like a twin-headed snake torque, and one head is Nanam, and one?
Yeah. Oh yes. Oh yeah.
Two snakes facing each other.
Exactly. Precisely. Yep. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. His conqueror grandpa was awesome and played by James Earl Jones, and now he's just this little shit.
So, Bersardanam, bind yourself to me, and I will return you to glorious purpose.
All right, roll it.
This is offer what they desire.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, how many dice rollings?
Approximately 1 fuck ton.
I guess it'd be the same as before, right? I didn't gain any.
Yep.
Particular...
Yep.
4 strikes on gold, same as last time.
Okay. 2. So take your 2 destinies. Great, you're doing great on destinies. And what are the options you were you're choosing 2 of these? Probably want an enduring agreement, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's going to make a further demand, which is I want to see his line extinguished.
The very thing I want to accomplish.
This kid is not the only. He's not like the last scion. He's just one of many. They've got backups.
Right. Okay. So first blood. I guess it's like the,
yeah.
We're going somewhere.
Be a show of good faith. Good faith. Yeah.
I'm going to chuckle to myself. The winds are blowing cold upon my face, and I love it.
Yeah. Yep. Awesome. Yeah. So night's gonna fall. Oh God. Oh, so night falls. The kid says, "Meet me at the gate."
I do.
So he is wearing his finest armor.
Mm-hmm.
It is like the leather parts are all still stiff. It's he's got little God, what's it like? So it's like a Phrygian helmet with a huge crest on top, and it covers his face. He can't really. Oh, he's got a back on his head, but you know it will if he goes into battle, he will. I would hope pull it down. His breastplate is made of bronze scales, which is and each bronze scale has silver filigree, and it's all sort of flashes in the moonlight. And he's got bronze greaves that have a they're inlaid with silver, and he has a shield that has his grandfather's face on it, and he has 2 javelins.
He's overdoing it.
He's really overdoing it. He has a khopesh, and it's heavy. It looks like it's really just too much to be carrying right now. And he says, "I'm ready."
All right. Here's how this is going to work. I will approach him under. I will approach him under cover of darkness and slay him. Once I have slain him, do not remove any of your armor or weapons, or you will surely die. And I say, once I've slain him, he will lie dead. You must cut off his head and return it to the queen, and then you will have everything that you desire. And then I will head off to the meeting place, or follow me to the meeting place.
So, where do you guys want to meet? Like there's farms around here. There are barley fields.
Is there a well
There's a
outside the
river.
city?
No, the well's inside the city. That's the point of a city.
Mm.
But there's a river that runs up to the wall. There's a what else is going to be here? The river starts to turn sort of foresty up a little ways. And before that, it's sort of swampy and reedy. And then downstream there are rapids. But no artificial light. Like once you walk off around anything, you'll be
what would you have
invisible.
said?
Yeah.
Meet me to where the forest turns damp
Yep.
at midnight. Midnight.
So there's reeds there. There's it's swampy.
So yeah, we'll did you bring your followers or is it just you? Echa.
It is me and my two most trusted painsmiths.
All right.
Great.
I'm gonna pull this off. I'll say, as we approach, here, hide behind this rock.
You can see him. Oh, all right. Yeah.
I'll tell the prince, hide behind this rock, and then I will draw him away. Wait only, half an hour, and then come find us.
So, Echa, would you have scouts or anything waiting to see what happens? Like, how much do you trust him?
I'm gonna say he's not a tactical genius, as you can see. He gets through by strength of arm and gusto, and just
strength of goat.
It's like his girth, or I guess, like absorb blows. He's not very skillful.
Great. All right.
He's scarred up, and he's a tank, and he knows it. And so he's just confident that he can withstand and get through whatever shenanigans is coming up. And maybe today is not gonna be his day, but he's not thinking about it right now.
So you can see though when you approach that behind a rock there's a helmet crest sticking up behind the rock.
And he's gonna look to his like lieutenant on his left, and what's his name? This bot is the greatest.
Yeah, isn't it amazing? It's Jason Godesky's magic.
Shuenhu, you see that shit over there?
Now, remember, you knew that I was bringing the prince.
Yeah, I know that, but it's like he's saying that all I could see is a crest, right?
Yeah. He's doing a bad job of hiding because he's a dipshit.
Right.
Yeah, okay. And he's like, and Shuenhu's like, yeah, I see him. It's like that's gotta be that little dipshit, right?
So then I will approach the Echa and Shuyenhu and the other.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Hail Echa! And I have your spear.
Then he pulls out the cob and it's like he kind of you could kind of hear like a sigh because even though his aunt was like you might get your shit back, some part of him was like dreading that you weren't gonna bring it.
Hold the cob for just a bit longer, and then I will explain. Here's how this works. We will go into the forest. Erkinzub will follow us in 30 minutes. He will find you, presumably dead, and approach you to behead you. It is then that you will slay him with your own spear. But first, I will stick you in the stomach, and you will lay in the blood. This is how you have your revenge.
And he's just kind of like, how big are you?
Like, oh, he's wiry and not very strong at all. Like, I'm not gonna kill you. I'm just gonna like stick you in your stomach so that you just bleed everywhere. Not any vitals or anything like that. But
I don't know. That's a big ask.
yeah, it is. But like, I'm a wiry, like sage freak guy. Like, I'll do weird stuff and say weird things, and it comes at a price. But you'll win.
He looks at you and
I mean, that's an
and he
offer.
looks
Yeah,
back.
see how
He
that
looks
goes.
back at he looks
yeah.
back at the dipshit behind the rock, and he's like, he takes the spear and he kind of like plants it in the ground, and he's just like, just let him come. Let him come. I don't think I need Fahi for this.
So okay, well, am I rolling to
Yeah.
offer you-
Roll
okay.
anyway, and like he can make it a gimme, but
That's 2 mortal strikes, 3 immortal strikes.
You did
seize
it.
3
Okay.
destinies. Man, I am on fire.
yeah.
So yeah, I think I'm gonna hold you to the agreement. You're gonna
Okay,
do
folks,
what I
so-
say,
Sounds good.
and I'll stab you. Right? It's not a mortal wound. It's just through the, through
Actually,
something
you,
that you
you
can.
probably know where you can be like, oh, this makes a mess when somebody gets cut
Right.
here. It cut me like this.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's just
Oh, yeah,
like,
you know.
all right.
So then
And
I
then
will.
so reopen
that.
the scar up right here.
Yeah.
I mean, this one.
This one wasn't so bad.
So
Yeah.
you're laying in your own blood. I will put the spear down next to you, and then slowly meander towards the direction of the prince. So that when I'll say it's done. Go cut his head off quickly.
Am I supposed to scream?
If you wish.
Ah!
Oh, you stabbed me really bad. Oh,
It's fallen.
All of my death is coming now.
Do I take a mortal die or a jet die from
I
the
would say
yeah.
so.
You do have a jet die back because your face was sewn up.
Oh, yeah,
I didn't
nice.
know if the reopening the wound counted as a mortal
Oh
die.
no, it'd be
It's
fine.
just a
Yeah.
flesh wound. It's just.
Yeah. It's a cosmetic.
I
one.
knew what
You
I
know,
was
right now.
doing.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So I'll meet the prince and tell him it's done. Go quickly. What you must do quickly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if we need to have a scene there. Like, I think let's just cut over to you with your aunt, where you've got this kid broken in half or something.
I want to say, like, as soon
It's
as
not
he
like
gets,
he's gonna put up a fight.
I just want to say, like, as soon as he gets here, I just kind of like just face palm him and just
Yeah, right,
drag him
that's right.
away, just like.
He's got this bulky armor on and like.
Right, he can't reach to grab
Right.
you. Yeah.
He doesn't know what's happening. He's dead before he gets into the clearing.
Yeah. Do you want to? Let's cut back to the city, and then we'll cut to the back to the canyon.
Yeah. So back to the city.
Yeah.
I have uncovered a plot on your life, my queen.
Now you're talking.
It seems that Erkenzub, was in league with Echa and wanted to usurp your authority, but I have dealt with him, and I'll present his I don't know, whatever. Present.
Yeah, you can
his-
like
his-
give her his helmet or something.
his Kopesh and his hand attached, or something like that.
Yeah, sure.
Full of rings or whatnot.
Yeah, with all
Yeah.
of his oh yeah, no, he has a cylinder seal ring. Like it's his family seal. Yep.
And good. He was just an envoy of his father to test your abilities. I would be very wary of his family coming to finish the job. Oh, look at me. I'm
You're like a
Not
worm
holy.
tongue.
But I'm playing this game really well.
So good.
She like slaps you on the shoulders and laughs, and she says, "Bring him a seat beside me."
Hmm.
All right, let's cut over to the cavern, canyon.
And the Painsmiths and the rest of our tribe ride upon our goats, making our pilgrimage back. We bring back barley and whatever treasures that we found, like from like the small raids that we had up to and away from the city. And
The kids' armor is probably fantastically valuable trading stuff too.
awesome. All right.
That's
So
going to get you a lot of barley or whatever else it is that you need.
fantastic. And so yeah, we get supplies and ale, and then I'm able to score just like a bottle of wine from deep in a forgotten cellar that we found. And
Thank you.
Okay. Yep. We're wrapping.
so we come to the chasm. Oh yeah, what did we name it?
I don't remember, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, that was a minute ago. Let's see. Was it Bashushuli?
Oh, I think that's. Oh, that was one of
So
them.
we got the Cobb, and then I did Bashashuli, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Bosh,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Bosh,
Bosh
yeah,
Shuli,
yeah,
yeah.
that's right.
Yeah.
Bashashuli.
Bashuli, yes.
Great Bashashuli, the deed is done. And he takes a swig of wine, and then he tosses the kid into the he tosses the kid into the chasm.
Wound in the earth.
He pours some wine in the chasm as well, and then that's when the rest of the followers start making their sacrifices.
As he falls, tentacles reach up and grab.
Oh!
Pull him asunder and pull little bits down into the deep.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think we have resolved you guys. I was definitely uncertain where that was gonna go. There's once you're like, all right, I'm wounded, all right, I'm throwing myself all in, and you're like, I'm just gonna start lying. that went really well.
Right, I had it in my mind to play like a straight holy man, but like when it came to it, I was like, what if I just lie a little bit here? Everybody gets what they want, well, except for
Except for Urkinzu.
No. Urkinzub was like, I'm going to sex a big lady. And that's not how that worked out.
He wanted big ladies, but ended up with tentacles.
Yep.
This is fantastic. So
This
what
is so
I mean,
much
like,
fun.
does this go? Yeah, like what's after? Does this just continue in this narrative vein until like a character dies, or?
Yeah. So what will happen is next time, like So if you think about the structure of a myth, sometimes there's continuity, sometimes they're not. Sometimes you're like, I don't want to be around with the queen. I've got another idea. You're like, all right, we're just going to take her off. Like, I don't care.
Start
like,
a completely different scenario.
Yeah. Yep. And like, you might be like, I've still got the snake. The snake's important to me, but I've got this. Maybe I've got the kid's signet ring or whatever the thing is. What happens is you remember what happened last time, like you talk about it, and that's what you write down in your character sheet. We're not talking about a strictly linear narrative.
Sure. But I might have like
really...
first Sarnanam, like the
yes, right,
torque,
exactly.
But otherwise, nothing may from the first may affect the second.
Yes. And like sometimes you're like sometimes you have a whole list of people who are like, all right, I got all those courtiers really going at each other. I don't ever want to see them again. Like, I'm taking all of those people off my list. Like that's not what I want here. What does remain is your destiny, because that has to do with when you die, and you
Mhm.
usually. Chris, how much Destiny did you have at the end? You were
I had
surprisingly
like
dry.
one.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
had like one Destiny.
Yeah, I've seen people just blow through and they're like, I'm taking the waters of the underworld by storm. Woo! And it's like I am immortal, like in one session, like that. Wow, that was. It's not fair. The world is capricious. That is one of the principles here. Is that fate is capricious. Yeah, so I've definitely got characters who I've played over and over again, and I've played in, you know, campaigns or series that are half a dozen stories long. I've got a character I come back to periodically who's in a couple of the stories on my Patreon and stuff. It's there's just a lot of characters to make, you know.
Yeah.
Just like the difference between Heracles and Kidu and Samson really has to do with which language these story is told in. They're all
Sure.
kind of the
Well, yeah.
same guy, right? And Kidu sometimes has horns, but not always. So you play the one that you think is most interesting. If you're buddies with another character, then it's probably good to keep the character consistent. But
Yeah, I
if you're
find
like,
that was what
"Hey, everyone-"
I found really fascinating in our scenario was that Chris's character and I were not friends in any way. Like we weren't like we
No.
just we were like characters doing our own thing and bumped up against each other, right?
It's like a
for
fateful crossroads,
right.
right?
But
Yeah.
like you get the sense that like maybe they never see each other again, but in that moment it was like two
Yeah,
important
yeah.
characters having a thing, right?
Yeah.
That was-
Yeah. And you're gonna
Yeah.
go off and like if you're playing whatever, like Chris might be like, that was fun, but I want to play a different kind of person or whatever. It'll like in a year you're like, wait a minute, I want to play this guy again. Like you're gonna have this
Yeah.
fateful meeting in the circumstances.
So
and
then
you
like
get
so
to
then
reintroduce
you're really building a sort of like
Mythos, like Odyssey, like
yeah,
like set of labors or something.
but
yeah,
not
yep.
yeah, but a an oral one, right? Like not
Yeah.
a well-defined right? Like linear one. Right? It's not like one that you learn
This
about
is
in high
not a
school.
19th century Bowdlerized mythology.
Right,
This is
right.
this is a tangled oral history. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
if that's what you're going for, that feel really comes
Absolutely.
through.
Yeah.
Unquestionably. Yep.
It's fantastic. It's like the fireside, like, oh, this is what happened with
Yeah.
Ekar the Ekar the Scarred and Erkin Zoop the Gullible, like
the dipshit.
yeah.
That would be a fun thing to add to the name generator. Right? give me a
like the
phrase,
dipshit.
right? Yeah,
Like a title or something. Yeah.
So yeah,
awesome.
that was this is awesome.
Well, I gotta say,
Yeah,
it's been fun listening to you guys as you've been playing. So I know for a fact that Sarah, our fearless leader, lover of puns and all things pun related, she wants to have you back in the future, possibly as a one-shot for Gen Con TV. So,
Sure, yeah.
Joshua, please go ahead and reach out to her, try and coordinate that. I think we'll get plenty of people who'd be interested in joining you with this, because, again, just listening along, this sounded like a lot of fun. And I like the fact that it's not a GM versus all kind of game. It's a cooperative kind of GM storytelling mechanic.
And if we weren't doing a one shot, if we weren't worried about time or whatever, we all could have had a companion there. It's a little bit easier when we're playing for the first time if I'm not like writing down a thing when somebody else needs to know something or whatever. But once everybody knows how it rolls, there's no reason that we can't all do it.
Yeah.
And just bat it around, because you're always thinking, I mean, this happens in any role-playing game. This is where this comes from. You're like, oh, I got a neat idea, but I don't have the authority to say the neat idea. And I can sort of try to pass the idea by the GM, but it might just sort of throw off their groove. So in this, because we're not planning anything out, we just have a bunch of interests that are in various states of alignment and conflict. We just push and pull, and stuff's gonna happen. And because it all has to do with the stuff that we want, like I had a plan at one point that you're the warlord who was after you, that Echaz guys were going to get trapped between the warlord who was after you and you. And I was just like, I want to see what happens there. But then you guys had plenty of good energy yourselves, and I really want to see that dipshit get done. So
Yeah, so in a normal game, once the characters, and I got the sense that because we didn't know the rules as much, you were more of a guide than necessarily GM, right? But if I get your meaning, like once everybody kind of gets the rhythm of the game and knows the rules, your guideness is not necessary, and you just become another character, and we all sort of do this collaborative. That sounds
you become
like I didn't know beforehand that. Yes, we all do. Yep. Like I brought up the war goats because when I had that idea, I was like, I was so pleased with that idea. There's an archer, cavalry is the word that I use for it's cavalry dot tiff in the book file, because it's a guy riding on a goat, so it's not cavalry, it's cavalry. So I was like, nobody ever, like, anytime I bring this up, people are like, haha, war goats, and then they go on. I'm like, oh, somebody follow up on the war goats. I really like this. And then you're like, oh, so we're just like going up the wall. I'm like, of course, because they're good. That's awesome. I didn't think that out beforehand. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought was hilarious. Like I was like, of course you go up the wall because it's goats.
Yeah, they were not prepared for that. That's why you guys had such success. They're like, what? They don't even have ladders. They're just coming up here. So that was not me like being permissive or something. That was like, we're all here to roll with it. You know,
so
it's not my job to stop you.
How much of there's a loose lore, right? In the way that like Conan has a sort of lore to it, but it's not it's not systematic, right? How much of that, like in the war goat, right? Like how much of that did you just say that sounds like a Bronze Age thing, or is there some attestation? Like what was your sort of line between I'm going to make stuff up and I'm going to draw from existing?
Yeah. Well, so what happens? So that's a made up thing, right?
Sure.
So part of it is there. If you get far enough out, then you start running into dinosaurs and stuff. If you go far enough north, right? Like this is not it's emphatically not historical. Like this is a setting that draws from our past, but we cannot possibly live in its future. Like this world does not make sense. There's a vault of heaven, the earth and firmament, and the waters of the underworld under it. Like our physics don't make sense here. So when one of those things was like, oh, and that means there's no horses because horses come from Asia. And so I'm like, okay, if no horses, then what do we have? All right, so we've got dinosaurs. There are people in the north who ride dinosaurs. I'm like, what do people ride here? They ride camels, they ride donkeys. And as I was going through, I was like, camels are huge, right? And they don't live everywhere. And donkeys are really not appropriate as a like they're a practical steed, but they're not a there's nothing really, well, I was gonna say there's nothing awesome about them. There's an awesome donkey in one of the stories actually. But it's like a giant undead donkey driven mad by rage and grief. So I was like, all right, so what do we have? What else do we have here? And there's a kind of goat called a Damascus goat. That's a giant goat that's bred all across West Asia, and they're incredible. And they're huge. They're like the size of, I don't know, like a normal goat. Like you can kind of pick it up, like it's the size of a small dog. Damascus goat is like the size of like a Great Dane or something like that. It's really big. So a little bit, it was it was like just trying to find something that was clearly not of this world, but kind of was of the.
But it's something that could be imagined by people then in a way that horses couldn't, right? But you could be like, but I can imagine a big ass goat that people ride on, like that. That sort of makes sense in the language of the Bronze in the ancient like Mesopotamia. That's cool. I like that. It all feels right.
Yeah, exactly. So the principle is that what we were just doing takes place in the center of the world. Like if you were to imagine this on a real world map, this is Iraq. And so there's rivers, there are a couple of enormous cities that are terrifying, and their astrologers can tell the future and all that kind of stuff. And then there's deserts and there's little farm towns and things like that. And the further you get outside from that, like in that place, like people ride on camels, they have tribes, they have tents, they have brick, they grow barley. As you get like the world looks like a world that we know if you're in the Middle East, perhaps North Africa, and perhaps like a little bit of West Asia. As you get outside, it's dinosaurs and turtle people and woolly mammoths, which actually are around at the dawn of the Bronze Age in our world. So the idea was to say, like, here's something that's sort of concrete and understandable, and as you go out, you have to play an earthen being, a mortal, and you can't play a person you haven't met. So you start off, everybody's whatever, Middle Eastern. Everybody is sort of a middle to dark brown and lives in rivers and deserts and stuff like that.
And you can't play like a white guy because they never met a white guy. They don't really imagine what that's like. Right? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Actually, if you go far enough north, the people start having tiger stripes. It all just gets being weird. Like there's no once you get outside of the center of the earth. So because you're getting toward the edges of the world. So it's all very strange. Eventually, if you walk far enough, presumably you reach the vault where the vault of heaven touches the earth and firmament.
The mountains, or the vault. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yep. And who knows what kind of people live there or what the animals like.
And the gods live on an island that we can barely see sometimes, but not.
The gods probably live past the vault of heaven. At least the great names, like the reason they're not always around, right? They'll probably live past the vault of heaven. Don't poke holes in it. That's where all the rain comes from. You don't want to let it all out at once.
That's awesome. I sense. I don't want to presume. Well, maybe I will. I'll just ask. There's a lot of Hebrew Bible references and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Is that personal for you? Like, was that were you raised in? I again, I don't want to presume.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. It is. In a lot of ways. So, are you familiar with Dogs in the Vineyard by any chance? So, Dogs in the Vineyard is Vincent's sort of. It's a way of taking on the origins of his religion, which he's since the game is out of print because he's given up on giving second chances to the religion that he grew up in.
Okay,
but to some extent, this for me. This is the moment where there's a question about human ethics as opposed to fate. There's little grains of humanism that is this very Jewish way of looking at things. Sure. And one of those is that fated heroes are fucking assholes, right? They're like Goliath, who's probably a Mycenaean Greek, right? So like they're terrible, and they are terrible to people, and they're terrible people, and you can see the Torah struggle with that with Samson, who again is probably from the same set of overlapping myths as Heracles and Enkidu. And there's this question though that comes up, which is, at what point do you have to do the right thing? And the right thing isn't what my supernatural ancestor told me to do, but I'm responsible for this, good or bad, and the consequences are human. So there are all these things, particularly in name dealers, where you're like, I can't know what's going on inside your mind, and there's this really painful thing, like in neither case are you able to know for certain if somebody loves you. And you can like make a deal with them, you can be useful to somebody, and that makes you doubt whether they love you. And like you can a fated hero can crash into a tumultuous relationship with somebody. You can roll the dice and be like, oh, they love me, like it says so right there, because that's our destiny. And name dealers are like, I can't ever really know. And like the questions in it are about the challenges of being human in a universe that is incomprehensibly huge, not merely comprehensibly huge.
Yeah, that's cool. I like that. So you're sort of wrestling with with the faith that you were given, and you're wrestling it though in a way that sort of goes beyond it itself, right? Right, like you're sort of wrestling with
I mean,
the questions that it's asking.
So there are sort of demonological traditions in Judaism. Demons aren't particularly powerful or anything. I mean, there's no afterlife, and there's no devil or anything.
Sure.
A demon is sort of a problem, and that demon haunted world is just exactly how the name dealers handle these things. And it's, to some extent, I've been saying, like, part of the reason that it's not a historical game is we're 21st century humans,
right,
looking back through back through clouds of obscured mythologies and the people who have rewritten them for their own purposes. So we're rewriting this for our own purposes. So these questions are modern questions being asked with this archaic imagery.
Yeah. But there's a sense in which that's what people have been doing forever, though, right? Like even the Torah is a result of people doing that very thing, right? Like looking back at what came before and sort of asking their own questions, and
you can see some arguments between authors in the Torah.
Sure.
And the layout of the book is actually inspired by Talmud, which is a record of arguments of 1,000 years of arguments, and where there's a central text, and then around it, I mean, you'll find as you read the text, there are parts that don't agree with each other, especially about the lore. And part of that was inspired by the description of Tiamat in Babylonian mythology does not match the pictures of Tiamat. So I'm like, yeah, obviously, like, this is like imagery that means something to this particular artist in this particular cultural context. But like, sometimes she's a snake, sometimes she's got the body of a cat and the head of an eagle, or whatever. I can't remember what it was. So in the book, she's described as
I want to thank you all for joining us this evening. Thank you, Joshua, for running our players through this, even though we
my pleasure.
Had a minor glitch there.
I'd love to play with her sometime.
I do look forward to the possibility of you running one shot for us on Gen Con TV.
You bet. Yeah.
Quick run through of our REM schedule here. Tomorrow, I believe we still have D&D episodicals. Chris, are you able to speak on that at all?
I think we are, but we're going to be doing a one shot.
Okay.
Because Winston's not going to be able to make it.
It'll be a Saturday morning one shot. Maybe it's the patrons of Conundrum Cart. Maybe it's something else entirely. Sunday night, we have our Like Clockwork campaign set in the world of Coddlesworth Clockwork Circus. Monday, we will have our Paranormal Albany, the Dresden Files inspired game, where you can see me when I'm actually on camera, and others. Tuesday night, we have restarted our Shadowrun 5th edition rule set season 7. Next Wednesday, we are off. Next Thursday, we have on Gen Con TV Emerald Glitch. And I'm not sure what the rules for Cool our interview will be, but that's always a fun time and some interesting insight. Again, I'd like to thank Joshua Newman, Opti, and Chris for joining us tonight. And thank you all for watching here on Friday night. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend.
Love everybody.
All
right. Stay safe, everyone. Have a good night.
Good night.